Okay, so this is just a comparison video on these two knives. This is the Cold Steel Talwar and this is the Cold Steel Espada. I'm gonna do some tests later on in the end of the video where I'm gonna compare like the main difference, which is just the grind on both of these knives. But for now, I'm just gonna go over some of the stuff that is similar and different that you can just see just from having it here. So, all right, we'll start with the handle itself. So what you want in a good handle is basically you want protection for your hand from it going forward, so you don't want it to ride up into where the blade is, and you don't want the knife to fly out of your hand too, so you want it to stop somewhere at the end. And both of these have those features, which is very good. And for this one up here, this swell, this area here keeps your hand from going forward, and this little nub here keeps it from going back in this position, but then also in other subsequent positions too. This little nub that goes between your fingers. This would be, I mean, you can grab it all the way here if you wanted it to. But yeah, this provides a stopping point for all those grips. This knife has it too, but more of a neutral way of doing it. So same thing, this swell stops your hand from going forward. This little bump keeps your hand from flying, well, your knife from flying out. So you can do this, same thing, you can hold it. This would be probably what I would feel. 2 fingers would be a little too weird for me. But yeah, so this would be fine. But it doesn't have that stop that keeps your hand in position as the other one does in different handle choices, grip choices. So that's one of the differences. The other one is this, because of the handle, then also because of the grind, but I'll talk about that later. This is a lighter knife than this, and it's also less forward heavy, and that's partly because this does not have liners, even though it does have like a crazy long lock bar. Look how long that is. But this only has the G10, which is what keeps this from getting weak at the joint, which is fine. It's like rock solid. This one has more reinforcement because of these steel liners that it has on both sides. And because of that also, it is more forward heavy. So there's where that one balances. And then this one, well, it basically keeps going back to there. So the other one was around here. This one is just slightly here, basically. This is where it balances. So not much of a difference, but is a bit of a difference. I'm gonna go to, well, before I go to that, the other thing is the how much the handle actually comes out from your pocket. So the Espada slightly protrudes more out of your pocket, but it is a smaller shape, which to me it hasn't really made a difference, even though that it does come out. This one actually goes into your pocket deeper, which I have felt a difference. So because, let me line these up. Not that much, actually, it doesn't look that crazy. Let me see. All right, let me line them up like this. Okay, this is kind of like where it would be in your pocket. And oh wow, so it is. It is a bit of a difference. You can see how much this comes out. So it goes about this much deeper into your pocket. And personally, I like this better. I like that it goes a little bit less in your pocket, but it does have less showing too. All right, now, so moving to the blade, this has, it's basically a flat grind. It would be a Saber Grind if this wasn't ground, but it's a flat grind. So it goes all the way out here, and there is no, this just comes down to like this thinner edge here on the spine. So flat grind all the way. This is a Saber Grind. So this is the newer version. From what I know, if you go out and buy an Espada right now, you would basically get this, except the Cold Steel logo would be different because this is the logo that Lynn Thompson had when he owned the company. So this is a Saber Grind, and because it has this, they're both the same thickness of steel from what I can tell. But because this has this extra area here, this has a little bit more material. Same thing with the tip. This has a little bit more material, the Espada. You can see here both tips, much thinner, and just the blade overall. So yeah, both start at the same point. The Talwar is much thinner. So okay, that is where the main difference is. There is one more difference actually I want to point out. That kind of annoys me a little bit. So I'm used to carrying an Espada, specifically the first generation. So this is what I carry all the time when I do go out. I've been carrying this for a month, but I usually carry this. So the difference from both of these is how you close them. It's one of the. It's not a big difference, but it is like a habit difference. So okay, when I close this, okay, this is what I do. It has a little space there where the blade actually hits your finger, so it doesn't cut you, and that's fine. I mean that works out for me. This guy has the same little space, but since the lock bar, the release is way back here, I have to go forward with the finger and do that. I have done it. I have accidentally just straight up pushed it down here. I have my finger down here, and I've had the blade close on my finger, which hasn't cut me, but it's just something I have to relearn. So, and tell you the truth, I've only had, so in my mind, so the Raja, the holdout, I'm trying to think of all the cold steel knives I have. Well, whatever. Those, they all work like this. From what I remember, I could be wrong, but they all work like this. This is just something that's different to me. Okay. All right. Besides that, I'm just gonna do some cutting tests, and just to see if this thinness actually makes a difference. So yeah, that's the main reason you would want to buy a Talwar is if this blade shape made a difference. Because besides all that, I actually like the Espada better. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so before I start the tests, just to show you that they're similar in terms of sharpness, this section might be a little sharper. I don't know, whatever. All right, so similar. All right, so the first test is going to be just cutting vinyl tubing. And this is a 1.25 wide vinyl tubing. So I'm going to try to keep the pieces about the same and just do a few cuts, see what it does. So, all right. I'll just do 4. Let's just do 4. Okay. Now the Talwar. Okay, so yeah, that feels a little bit easier. A lot easier, actually. Let me see. All right, last one. All right, cool. Just for funsies, my knife I made. Okay, so next up, I'm going to try to cut through this tubing. And this is a piece of cardboard that's about 3.5 inches wide and about 1/4 inch thick. I don't think the knives are going to cut through this, but I do want to see how deep each one cuts. So we'll try that. All right, so I screwed the tube to a piece of wood, and I have a couple of these, so I'm going to just try to get it right in the center. And I'm going to hold the knife at the very bottom, so we'll see. All right, so first one. Okay, let me show you that. And I'll do a comparison just to show you this. It actually broke one of the screws. Kind of crazy. All right, now the Talwar new tube. Okay. Huh. That definitely went deeper. And it slid out. Okay, let me show you. All right, so here are the results. This is the Espada. You can see from here to where it ended here, and a lot more blunt force basically went into this tube. You could tell too by how this thing flew off from the stump I got it screwed to. And here's the Talwar. Almost cut through it completely, which is kind of nuts. It's from here to here. Significantly more. And if you look at the cut too, much cleaner cut. Yeah, and it slid out instead of getting stuck and then just putting all the force into the becoming a blunt object rather than a cutting implement. It actually cut very, very nice. So yeah, big difference in my opinion. Kind of crazy. So I guess I'm gonna be carrying the Talwar for a little bit longer now, even though I still really like the first generation cold steel, but that has more to do with just sentimental value, I guess. But one thing I wish would happen, but it won't, is having this blade on this handle. Let's actually let's imagine it together. Yeah, nice that would be. And yes, I measured. You can't put this blade on this handle. I can't switch blades on this. So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, like always, any suggestions, questions, let me know. All right, bye. Nope, nope.